We're going to bring you all the action from St. Patrick's Day parades coming up around the county. We'll have no less than 7 coming to you. We're going to Kilrush first. We're going to Mary McKeown Lynch and to Chris Dixon. You're both very welcome to the programme.
Oh, thanks, Daragh, and thank you for having us on.
Not at all. So, Kilrush sounds pretty exciting this year. The team is legends. Mary, I'm going to put you on the spot and get you to talk me and the listeners through that one.
Okay, so Daragh, we're back on our traditional slot of Tuesday the 17th at 3 p.m. And as you say, our theme this year is legends. So as well as giving plenty scope for imagination and creativity, it's also allowing us to commemorate a great and very fondly remembered period of Kilrush social history, and in particular our great local club, Kilrush Shamrocks. And this is something that Chris has been doing a lot of research on recently. So Chris's book and the parade theme have really dovetailed nicely, So a great time that Chris has researched, and I think people are very excited about those that witness the times, and also we're getting great support for the club themselves, who will be out in force, enjoying and celebrating this occasion.
Absolutely. And Chris, I'm going to get you to talk me through some of that because you've done the research into this. And just doing some research on this story, 50 years since Kilrush Shamrocks enjoyed the most illustrious era in the club's history, winning 5 senior football championships in a row. That's a feat that's scarcely achieved. So regardless of this being St. Patrick's weekend or not, there'll be some celebrations down in West Clare.
Yes, there, absolutely. And as you said, so last year would have marked 50 years since the 1975 Seniors Championship final, and that was Kilrush's first championship in about 12 years during that era, and they would have lost 3 championships over those 12 years. So there was a lot of hurt, a lot of hunger. So in 75, when they did win, there was a lot of relief, a lot of excitement, but little did they know, I suppose, that it was going to be the first of 5 in a row from 75 to 79. And I suppose lots of that was spearheaded by the great Raymond Clancy, known to many as the greatest Shamrock, and also by the captains of that team. And those captains will be the Grand Marshals for the parade on St. Patrick's Day in Kilrush, and they include in 1975 Brian O'Reilly, who has sadly passed away since, who will be represented by his brother Michael, who was also a key figure in that team, but also by the 76 captain Seamus O'Doherty, in 77 Shawnee Maloney, 78 Liam McNamara, 79 Johnny Houlihan. And not only did they win 5 in a row, but that team largely stuck together. Competed again in 1980, lost out to Camel, deserving winners, but came back and won in 1981, and Michael Eustace was captain of that team, and he'll also be a Grand Marshal in the parade. And I suppose one of the reasons why this topic and the theme of legends and the topic of 5 in a row has got so much buy-in from the local businesses, who are doing a great job with their shopfront displays and interest in the local communities, because back in the 70s, everyone was involved in this success. The supporters, many people behind the scenes, the streets would have had competitions with each other about who had the most green and white during the finals. And once the team won the finals, straight back to Kilrush, still in their jerseys, their shorts, their socks, football boots even, and they parade through the town with hundreds of supporters, young and old. So it's kind of fitting that on St. Patrick's Day they'll get to reenact this as such. And it's great, to highlight Kilrush's proud sporting heritage, and which continues up to this date, and it really makes something that was an interesting story, and that's why I've wrote a book about it, which we'll publish during the summer, with all proceeds going to the underage club. But credit to the organising committee in Kilrush and St. Patrick's Day Parade for being so creative with this theme, and I think everyone that attends will have a great day on St. Patrick's Day, and it'll bring about great memories of such an illustrious period in Kilrush's history.
That's for sure, and it looks like a mighty itinerary in store as well. My thanks to Chris for that. Deirdre Duff is on the line with us also. Deirdre, you're taking charge of the Tulla Parade this year. Could you tell us a little bit about what's in store?
Yes, good morning, Daragh. So in Tulla, our parade is, as traditionally, it's held on St. Patrick's Day. It starts about 4 o'clock. It's led by our own pipe band. We're very lucky in Tulla to have our own pipe band. They celebrated 90 years this year, so they're going a long time. and I think they've led every St. Patrick's Day parade, except maybe the year they went off to New York and the years during COVID and we didn't have parades. So we're very lucky there. I suppose St. Patrick's Day kicks off in Tulla very early in the morning. We have 11 o'clock Mass and the pipe band play at the Mass and they accompany the choir, and then after the Mass they march off down the street, hop on buses and head off to do all the good parades, and then at the end of the day they come back to Tulla and they lead their own parade up through the village. So our parade this year will start at St. McCullough's Primary School just after 4 o'clock, and it'll walk up through the town, up past the library and down the hill again. We are taking entries from walkers, floats, vintage, tractors, cars. Our theme this year is folklore and fantasy. I know some of the groups have really embraced it. I know Tulla Drama are doing some sort of an entry around the legends of the savage pigs of Tulla. I know there's a young man in Kilkishen who's restored a 1937 rally bike belonging to a woman in the Broadford Hills,
wow.
and he plans to participate in the parade on the bicycle. You can enter on the day. There's no fee for the entry on the day. Just turn up to school at about 3:45 and register your either walking group or your float or your vintage. And we'd love to see as many people as possible turning up. There's also face painting in the primary school beforehand if anybody hasn't finished their costume and wants a little extra touch-ups to help them on the day. But it should be a good parade. We always get a great support from Tulla and from the people around. So it's
yeah, absolutely.
That's the parade.
Some itinerary sounds like there's mighty crack in store. Deirdre Duff, the chairperson of the Tulla Parade Committee, thank you very much. Now we go a little bit down the road to Kilkishen, where Jim Moroney from the Kilkishen Development Association is on the line with us. Jim, you're going a little bit earlier for the St. Patrick's Day festivities this year. You're kicking things off in Kilkishen on Sunday the 15th of March.
That's it, yeah, Sunday. We did it last year as well. So we're kicking off on Sunday at 11:30 from the GAA Club. So everybody will be gathering there at about 11 o'clock, and we're going to leave there. We're going to be led by a piper, Kieran McAteer. He's a West Clare man, very experienced piper, so he's going to head us off down the main street of Kilkishen, all the way down, and we're going to finish up below at the Forge. So, you know, who we're going to have all the underage clubs, the handball, the soccer, the hurling, the camogie. We're going to have the National School have a fabulous float there, which is really, the last couple of years they've stolen the show. They have a traditional music and singing group on the back of a trailer there, I think driven the last couple of years by Stevie Donlan. And as I said, they're up front and centre. And after that, we'll have anybody and anyone who wants to join to make up the numbers. You know, we'll have, there's another fabulous float there the last couple of years. We missed them last year, but the Kilkishen Gun Club have a fabulous entry. So usually they keep it under wraps. So we're hoping they're back this year. And we'll have the usual trucks, trailers, tractors, and anybody else will actually have that. That sounds like your last caller there in Tulla. That 1930s bicycle will be in Kilkishen. Cathal O'Hagan is a Kilkishen man, so he'll be putting his entry in as well. And anybody else who wants to come along, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, you put the preparation into it and the time, and when you get to the end of it, you know, you look around, you see the kids' faces, and you realise that, you know, it's all about them, and they love it, and they get to stop traffic in Kilkishen for the one day of the year. Actually, it's probably the safest day of the year, because it's the one day we get to take traffic calming into our own control that day. We've been failing to do it for 10 years, so at least on that day we'll have a safe 1 hour in the village. And
memories that always last a lifetime too, and you always knock a bit of crack out of good floats too.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't realise, you don't even know what's coming until days. People are working away there in the background, they're having crack, they show up, and, you know, even individuals, everybody's welcome. So, look, it's a great day, and, you know, you're kind of praying for a dry day. That's probably the you know, your biggest hope for the day. But even at that, nobody's spirits gets dampened, or they probably will if it rains. But no, look, it's always well worth doing, and it's a great day. And once you do it, we only brought it back about 3 years ago. We hadn't done it for about 30 odd years. And a couple of us got together about 3 years ago and realised that it's well worth doing. And as I said, it's a happy day for everybody, and it's great. Yeah, great for the village.
Well, here's hoping the rain will take a day off Sunday morning. Jim Moroney from the Kilkishen Development Association outlining the details of the Kilkishen St. Patrick's Day Parade there. Jim, thank you very much. This feels a little bit like the Eurovision results. We now cross over to the Killaloe jury for their results. Arlene White, the old Killaloe Ballina Bridge is reopening this year for your parade. Very exciting.
It is indeed, yeah. We've been running the parade for a number of years, but this year is kind of like we're starting all over again because we're not 100% sure what to expect with the pedestrian bridge. We've always had a lot of traffic, I suppose, to deal with in the towns over the years, and we've had the support of the Gardaí always, who are brilliant. But this year, no traffic to deal with, so we're hoping we'll have a huge amount of spectators, people coming into the town for the day to watch the parade as it goes from Ballina across the bridge and across the county into Killaloe in County Clare.
Super, and it's always good to finish in a better place than when you started, Arlene. Would you agree?
Well, I'd have to say kind of mutual on that now, I'm afraid. I was born in Ballina, so I can't say anything.
well, I tried my best.
Yes,
Arlene,
you tried to get it in there, yeah.
I sure did. And I'll make no apologies for it. Arlene, what are some of the best, I suppose, attractions or events we can look forward to as part of this parade? What would your highlights be now? What would you be recommending to people?
Well, we... Like the previous caller said, a lot of them keep it under wraps. A lot of the floats keep it under wraps until the day, so we never really know what to expect. But so far we have 15 floats registered, and what we do is, rather than having a theme, we give prizes in a number of categories. So we'd have things like the best business, the best community group or voluntary club, the best overall float, and we then have the most colourful float and most environmentally aware, or creating awareness about climate action. And we also present a float or a prize for the best dressed window along the parade route. So we always have lots of colour and colour along the streets, for the celebrations. We have, I suppose, what we have confirmed is our piper will be leading the parade. We have St. Patrick. We have our drummers. They will always take off, a group of local drummers take off ahead just to let people know it's coming. And we have, I heard last night, or got confirmation last night, that we have 10 Viking reenactors taking part in the parade as well as all the other floats that will be taking part. And that's a mix of local businesses and groups, GA groups and fishing clubs and, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's quite exciting every year to see what's coming. And there's always very good representation there as well.
That sounds fantastic, and as long as that Viking reenactment doesn't get too realistic, we should be in safe hands.
Well, we hope not. We hope not. We'll try and keep them calm anyway.
That's brilliant. Arlene White, the organiser of the Killaloe Ballina Parade, sounds like a fantastic occasion that will be in store. And that's kicking off at 2:30 on Tuesday, the 17th of March, St. Patrick's Day, which is brilliant as well because there's a lot of a time gap between these different parades, which means that if you've been excited by the details of one or another, you'll probably get to see them both, which is fantastic. Arlene, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks very much, Darren.
And we're about to take another big departure to the opposite side of the county. We're going to head to Kilkee now and to John Saunders. John, tell us about the Kilkee Parade.
Yes, Sarah. We'll be kicking off on Tuesday morning at 12:30 in Barrack Street, which is up near the church. It'll then proceed down O'Connell Street, the square, past the reviewing stand, down the Curry Street to the very end, and then it'll turn and it'll go up the Strand line, finishing off then back up in front of the viewing stand at about 1 o'clock. It should be all over, but within a half an hour, all going well. We're looking forward to it.
Nice, quick and snappy. I'm sure plenty of entertainment coming up as well, John. What kind of attractions can we expect to see?
On the day, we're lucky in our sense with ourselves and Kilrush. We're at 12:30 and Kilrush is at 3:30, so the same contestants will be in both parades, which is great.
Well, that's it. Well, that's absolutely super. So you're giving the people of West Clare a good opportunity to see both and enjoy, I suppose, the creativity that the communities of Kilrush and Kilkee have to offer. And when you have both of them getting together, that's just a nice community day out.
Well, it's historically it's been nearly all the same as we think, but most tractors in West Clare like to travel anyway, so they'll be all moving from here to Kilrush and back again. So yeah, it's always been the case over the years that the contestants of both parades would support both.
Well, that's fantastic. John Saunders from the Kilkee Parade. John, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks very much.
We're about to find out how they do things over in Scariff with Kate Smith. This is your 37th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, Kate. You're clocking up the numbers over in East Clare.
We are. Morning, Daragh. How are you?
Very well.
It's the 37th one. So it's usually a very big parade. We leave Tuamgraney at 3 o'clock and we head towards Scariff, up the hill of Scariff. We're very lucky this year to have the Tulla Pipe Band again. It's their 90th year. So we're hugely honoured to have them this year again. Our parade is usually led by our Grand Marshal, Brendan Walsh. And usually we've kids from the area that are kind of flag bearers that would walk with him. It's usually a really big parade, to be fair. There's a great variety in it, from kind of pub floats to clubs, sports clubs and schools, and then we have tractor, trailer, vintage cars. It's a great day out.
Absolutely, and really, the Tulla Pipe Band are going to be very busy that weekend, aren't they? But isn't it great to be able to have them?
They make sure we leave on time anyway, because they have to be in Tulla straight after us. So it is. It's absolutely fantastic to have like a pipe band going 90 years, to lead our parade. It's absolutely fantastic. And
it's nice to see that you're starting in Tuamgraney as well, so you have that bit of cooperation, I suppose, from the Bdyke side as well, before you knock lumps out of each other on the GEA pitch again.
Yes. No, it is. It's fantastic because going from Tuamgraney to Scariff like that, we have like the community from like Ogonnelloe, and it kind of spreads out. There's a large catchment area, I suppose, and it's just a great day. And like for kids even that mightn't be able to walk the full length, so like if they're from Tuamgraney, they often walk the length of Tuamgraney. Or kids that are in Scariff, they walk up the Scariff Hill. So we'd love when people just join in, put on the green, wave the Irish flag. It's a great day.
Absolutely, and we'll look forward to it. Kate Smith from the Scariff Parade, thank you very much, Kate, for joining us.
Daragh, can I just say a big massive thank you to everyone who kindly donated to our Churchgate collection this weekend. We really, really appreciate it, because like every other parade, we don't get funding, so we really rely on the community, and we massively appreciate it.
That's super, Kate, thank you very much.
Excellent, thanks for having us.
Not at all. And now we'll go up to North Clare and to Johnny Richardson. Johnny, a novel approach here. You're combining two holidays into one almost. You're getting a nice bit of Easter in there, and I think for the kids and participants that turn up to this one, they'll be very glad that they did.
Yes, we hope so, Daragh. We hope so. It's very much a child-friendly, family-friendly event, as it is all around the country. So our parade starts, just to make sure we don't forget the vital details, our parade starts, it's on St. Patrick's Day at 3 o'clock next Tuesday. And we have great participation, particularly from our younger members. They're involved with different clubs. We have a fantastic turnout here from the local schools. Mullinoiga do a fantastic walking group every year. So yeah, we're and for each of the children involved, they're all guaranteed an Easter egg for those participating. So it's an incentive to participate rather than just watch. Each of them are guaranteed an Easter egg. Their Kathleen Cullen will be looking after them there above us, Clough after the event. So yes, it's very much a child-friendly and a family-friendly event.
And you're doing well to keep the traditions of Clare, and particularly North Clare in the loop as well, because you're having a nice bit of trad music at 2 o'clock as well.
We are, yes. It starts in the square at 2 o'clock, and we have the local Kyotos group. And again, we have, there's a great junior musicians outfit, and Colin Nestor is, fair play to him, is organising all that for us. And they play every year. They're fantastic talents. And they'll be playing on the stage there in the square from 2 o'clock onwards. And Brendan Keane is our MC as well, who helps us with the event, who's a musician himself. So we should have music there going from 2 o'clock hopefully till after 4. So it's basically, it's all going to be done through music, typical Clare style,
That sounds like a super day's action in store altogether. And Johnny, as you reminded me to remind everyone of the important details, that kicks off at 3 o'clock sharp from Deer Park in Ennis Steinman on St. Patrick's Day. Johnny Richardson from the Ennis Steinman Parade. Johnny, thank you very much for coming on to Morning Focus today.
Thanks for that, Daragh.
Well, there we heard all about no less than 7 St. Patrick's Day parades taking place across County Clare. Some of them starting on Friday, running up to Sunday as well. We'll have all the details on more across our Clare FM website later today, so you won't miss out.